Hello guys, in this tutorial we're gonna talk about a very important structure in the upper limb anatomy which is called the cubital fossa. I hope it is useful for you, so follow us for more information about this structure. Okay, cubital fossa is this triangular depression above your elbow, which can be shown this way. It is somehow like this, and you can just find it this way on your skin right now. Regarding the surface anatomy, it is many major components, and actually many structures pass from arm to the forearm, and it is so important to just realize their order and their arrangement, which we will talk more soon. The first structure is this bicipital tendon, which stands laterally in this cubital fossa. It is like this, and then we have this brachial artery which passes medially, for example like this. And the last structure which stands the most medial is the median nerve. In order to just remember it, the median nerve stands the most medial, right? And then it is the brachial artery and then the bicipital tendon. One other thing that you need to know is that this ulnar nerve just passes behind the medial epicondyle of the humerus, and the radial artery passes just in front of the lateral epicondyle artery deep to the brachioradialis muscle, which we'll talk about more. Now let's talk about the borders and different limits of this cubital fossa. This is our bicipital muscle. This is the one of the lateral head, and this is the medial head of that, and they just merge to form one tendon which attaches to the radial tuberosity. One important feature of this bicipital tendon is this bicipital aponeurosis, which expands from this tendon medially and covers the various components of this cubital fossa, including the median nerve and brachial artery, and it somehow protects them. So this is an important structure. You can even touch and feel it across your skin, and it is so important. Now if you remove this bicipital tendon, we have this pronator teres muscle. It originates from the humerus and the ulna and just attaches to the radius. This is the pronator teres muscle. Another important muscle to consider about this cubital fossa is this brachioradialis muscle. This long muscle passes from humerus, the supracondylar ridge, to the distal end of the radius. This brachioradialis muscle is also important, and this dip muscle, which is attached to the humerus, is called the brachialis muscle, and it is also important. We'll talk about it more later. Okay, so we know that this triangular fossa has three sides, right? Laterally, it is consisted of this brachioradialis muscle, and medially it consists this pronator teres muscle, and the base of this triangle is a horizontal line that just passes from the medial epicondyle to the lateral epicondyle, which, if you remove this brachialis muscle, stands somewhere near here. So this is our brachial fossa. Okay, now let's talk about the contents of this cubital fossa. Let me remove this medial head of the biceps brachialis muscle. Now we can see the tendon of biceps brachialis muscle, and then the brachial artery, and then the median nerve. You know, the brachial artery is just a continuation of the axillary artery, which enters the brachial, the arm, and changes its name to brachial artery. This brachial artery just divides into two divisions called the ulnar artery medially and lateral artery and radial artery laterally. Radial artery laterally, and near this lower angle of this cubital fossa, right? And then we have this medial nerve. You know, this medial nerve just comes from the brachial plexus, which is here in the axilla, and this median nerve also extends to the cubital fossa and then goes underneath the pronator teres to reach the forearm and finally and eventually the hand. So it is, you know, very, very important to memorize the order and arrangement of these three structures. It is always questioned in different exams. From lateral to medial side, we have the bicipital tendon, then the brachial artery, and then the medial nerve. It is also very important to know that this ulnar nerve is not just considered as a component of this cubital fossa, because it actually passes from behind of the medial epicondyle, and it does just not pass through the cubital fossa. Something the same happens for the radial nerve. It is also not considered to be as a structure in cubital fossa, because it actually passes from in front of the lateral epicondyle. So let me just remove this brachioradialis muscle, and you see this radial nerve which passes in front of the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, and then it passes deep to the brachioradialis muscle and is divided into superficial and deep divisions, which end up terminating in the hand, you know. At last, let me talk about different structures which can be seen in the roof and the floor of this cubital fossa. You know, the only structure which can be seen in the floor of the cubital fossa is this brachialis muscle. You know, this brachial, we talked about it at the first of the tutorial, and you see it originates from this humerus, the anterior surface of the humerus, and attaches to the ulnar tuberosity and just forms the floor of the cubital fossa. Some very, very important structures also appear in the roof of this cubital fossa. You know, when you remove the skin, in the superficial fascia, you see just this median cubital vein, which is between the cephalic vein and the basilic vein, but the median cubital vein itself is the major component of the roof of the cubital fossa. In the roof, we also have got two very important cutaneous nerves, one named the median antecubital nerve, median cutaneous antecubital vein, ante-brachial nerve, and one lateral cutaneous ante-brachial nerve. The medial cutaneous ante-brachial nerve originates from the brachial plexus, and the lateral cutaneous ante-brachial nerve is the continuation of the musculocutaneous nerve, which also originates from the brachial plexus. These two nerves just innervate the skin of the forearm and are considered to be major components of the roof of the antecubital fossa. Thank you for watching us. Please subscribe us to help us make more videos for you. Thank you.